views on TikTok?
I mean, a little bit. Why?
Yeah, do you remember that one video that we did? It hit like 2.6 million views.
Dude, how could I forget?
Yeah, and there was another video that we did. It hit like 4.6.
Dude, you're so freaking good. You were like the star in that video.
Right? So I've been doing some calculations, and I was just wondering if you could pay up Roblox or V-Bucks.
What?
Yeah.
Who is bills around here? Gas, water, and electric. You pay up.
I'm going through my son's stuff and I find something that seemed really weird, which was this, because I'm like, why would he put it in his drawer? So I started to see if there's any way to open it, couldn't figure it out. And then I found, oh, he's so grounded.
Do you know where babies come from? Yes! Where do they come from?
No, I'm not saying.
Well, yeah, you could say that. It's not bad. Where do they come from? Does a stork bring them?
But keep in mind that a lot of my colleagues that do show their children have kidnapping plans in place with their local schools where their kids attend and the local police because they regularly receive threats.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So boy do I have a video for you today. I have curated several clips and videos of parents who I believe are exploiting their children for internet clout, for money, attention, views, you name it. Every passing day I believe that the internet is a disease. I think social media is a disease. Some of these clips are honestly shocking. Now, why am I making this video? Well, that's a great question that I just asked myself. I feel very strongly about this particular topic. This is a hill that I am willing to die on, and I apologize if I get a little animated or I get upset or I get frustrated or if I just seem like, you know, a little on edge in this video, because I feel like truly these children have been done wrong by their parents, by society. I feel like no one's advocating for them. You know, the thing is, we were all kids once. I think that some of these things at least are going to embarrass these kids, which I obviously don't want kids to grow up and be embarrassed by the things that their parents put online of them. But at worst, these children might actually really be in danger of, you know, online predators or having their information put out there by their parents because their parents want to get a quick buck, or they want to get 10,000 views, or they want to generate sort of like, you know, buzz around their family. Like, you guys, it's disgusting out there. I'm so dejected after some of the things that I've seen. This is what we've come to, I guess, as a society, is like, we value these things more than protecting our own kids, I guess. So before I begin, all I can say, that I'm not trying to attack anyone specifically. I don't want anyone to go out and find these parents and, you know, knock their door down or anything like that. I am not advocating for that. I'm just using these as an example. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm not saying that they're bad parents. I think that there's some bad decisions being made. It's just a topic that I want to discuss. I hope that it inspires people to do the opposite. I hope it inspires people to maybe take their kids offline or think twice before they post something. We've all felt the negative effects of being online. Ask anybody, do you feel better when you take time off of social media, or like you don't have it in your life, or you take a week off of it? You do a social media detox. Everybody will say that they feel better without it in their life. Everybody says life was better before social media. Everyone says that. We've all felt the negative effects. And if you haven't, you will at some point. But I'm not a parent, but I think priority for parents should be minimizing that social media footprint as much as they can for their kids, because things can follow you, things can embarrass you. It's all out there and it never goes away. The more we can keep our kids off social media, the better. So without further ado, I present to you Anything for Views parenting. I first want to discuss the wren.eleanor situation. Now, this is going to be the only social media account that I'm going to discuss by name because it's hard to discuss it without it, but it's also such a big thing right now. So If you are not aware, let me bring you up to speed. Recently, the discovery of a TikTok predator's account. Someone found like this guy's account that was super creepy. He was an older man who had liked a bunch of videos. They like went to his likes and found a bunch of videos that he had liked of young kids. And it was a lot of just gross videos and like videos that could easily be sexualized and things like that. The discovery of this account has actually sparked a much larger debate about whether or not you should put your kid online and internet child safety. This particular predator that people found, they discovered that he had liked several videos of this account called wren.eleanor, and Wren is this 3-year-old girl who is the feature of this wren.eleanor account, and it's like basically an account dedicated just to her. Now this account has amassed over 17 million followers on TikTok. I can't even conceptualize that number. It's just so crazy, like that's so many people. So it's a very popular TikTok account. Like even for TikTok, that's a humongous account. Now, her mother, who posts these videos of her, is facing a lot of scrutiny, obviously, over the potential exploitation of her 3-year-old daughter. And the reason is because she continues to post videos that can easily be misconstrued, videos such as the 3-year-old playing with a tampon, which has thankfully now been deleted. There's also videos of her in a bathing suit in the bathtub. I also found videos of Wren trying different carnival and fair food. These videos, some of them have amassed over 66 million views, feature Wren eating foot-long corn dogs, jumbo pickles, and jumbo hot dogs. In other videos that I've seen, she's found jumping on a bed. She's wearing tiny little crop tops, like tiny crop tops. She's also kissing another little boy who's, I'm assuming, a family friend, with the caption, "relationship goals." On all of these videos though, people have started to notice ever since, like I said, the discovery of this predator's account, which was liking these videos, that these particular videos that have these sort of easily misconstrued and easily sexualized things, they've found that they have more likes and more saves than any other video on this wren.eleanor account. This has prompted obviously people to question, are people liking this and sharing this for nefarious reasons? Because it's happened in the past. I don't know about you, but I would not want a video of me eating a foot-long corn dog on camera. To have a 3-year-old doing something like that, it's just not appropriate in my opinion. It is important to note that these foods are not wrong for a 3-year-old to eat, but they're easily and often sexualized by creeps online. So that's why you wouldn't post it. It's like, you gotta think things through here. And here's why. This is a statistic that I've pulled. There's an estimated 500,000 online predators online active every single day. There's a really great TikTok account called Mom Uncharted on TikTok. If you wanna follow it, she talks a lot about this particular topic. It's actually only about this topic and keeping your kids offline. But she had a great analogy once, but I'm just gonna use that analogy now. If you knew that there was a predator, okay, sitting on the bench at a public park that you take your children to, watching the kids, would you take your kid to that park? The answer is probably no. You wouldn't do that. But here's the thing. When you put your kids online, you are taking your kid to the public park with the predator. There's 500,000, probably more, 500,000 active ones at the park every single day that you take your kid to. So anyway, to update you on the wren.eleanor situation, the mother is obviously ignoring the public outcry that has stemmed from the discovery of the predator's account. She obviously continues to post videos of her daughter online and even take sponsorships with her daughter featured alongside her. I just want to clarify really quickly that I'm not condemning this behavior by the parent without also condemning obviously the behavior of online predators. Like, that's obvious. Like, obviously that's a bad thing to do. But parents have a responsibility to protect their children from danger and have much more control over their child's internet safety and can hopefully prevent these situations from even occurring. So that's why I'm choosing to talk about this topic, okay? Because it's an important topic, but I'm not condemning, okay? Because I've seen that before. People say that. Anyway, that's kind of what sparked this whole thing. So now a lot of people, because of the situation, are like, okay, I'm not putting my kid online. And you know, I think for a lot of people, they just don't know. This situation has clarified for a lot of parents, okay, enough's enough. I'm not putting my kid online after seeing a real life version. So anyway, let's move on to the next video. There's this mom on TikTok. She's caused a lot of drama for being part of a swinger group, which was like a group of friends who are on Mom Talk. They call it Mom Talk. It's Mom TikTok. And it's a bunch of Mormons who were recently like found out for being swingers because one of the main couples got a divorce. It was a really weird mess. I mean, it was one of those things you just couldn't look away because this particular mom stepped out of her marriage and stepped out of the swinger agreement and went too far or whatever, according to her. Because of this, she's now getting a divorce, like I said, and it's been a very public divorce, and she's answering basically all questions. She's priding herself on being very open and honest. Well, this video recently came out. So someone obviously asked her what the custody arrangement is, and she responded by doing a TikTok dance. Now this is where I have to come in and just mention again that social media is a disease. Now it's funny to watch certain things like this, but what's not funny is airing out your children's living situation. People should not know that your kids are gonna be here one day and here the other day. They shouldn't know what house they're at. They shouldn't know the details of a custody arrangement. I really strongly believe that. Here's the thing. When your kids grow up, you do not know for certain how they will take this information being public. Are they gonna approve of it or not? We don't know that. Nobody can know. No one can possibly know. That's one element of it. But it's also just so dangerous to disseminate information to the public about your children's whereabouts. Which parent they're gonna be with, what house they're gonna be at, how many days they're with this parent, how many days they're with that parent. It gives predators an outline, basically, of what your children's life looks like and where they'll be and how they can find them. And that's not appropriate. She's doing this all doing a TikTok dance. What am I watching? Like, what am I watching? Not to mention, she shows her kids' faces online.
Oh, if you need anything, don't be shy, okay? There are no rules in this house. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Right, Regina? Please stop talking.
She's got her full name as her username. I mean, it's like, this is all so you can get people to follow you, and because she's gaining followers every single day. I mean, it's really crazy. There's another video. If you haven't seen this video yet, you're in for the shock of your life. When I saw this video, I couldn't believe something like this could happen, and it's got very similar energy to the previous video I just showed you. If you're not aware, this video exists. So basically this child was in the NICU, and this child had RSV, which is like a respiratory virus. And while not serious in adults, it can be serious in children, obviously warranting a NICU stay. The mom is doing a TikTok dance in the, guys, I don't even have to explain why this is wrong. I know that I don't. I'm actually at a loss for words that someone would think that this is at all appropriate or okay. I cannot understand this one. I cannot actually understand this one. A lot of people just saw the initial video. They didn't see what happened after that, okay? I know that I didn't until I started looking into this. I thought she had just made the NICU video and then she had moved on from it. No, she actually made a follow-up video.
I understand people are upset with the video that I made. I just want to be clear and communicate that that was me just trying to be positive. I think it's important to just not just assume what someone's going through. Anyways, I took the video down because I could see, you know, where somebody could get the wrong idea, but that honestly was just me just trying to be positive in this situation. But I do want to say thank you for people who have reached out to me and my family, and I just really appreciate it.
She was just trying to be positive, basically turned it on everyone else, saying, you guys need to be more sympathetic to me, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the way I took it, okay? She then made another follow-up video after that, where she was like, mask off, and she's sitting there doubling down, saying that she's not sorry.
It seems like everyone here, or majority of people, think that they know my story. And I just want this story to be heard by me. Little Had been in the hospital for 2 days, and we had finally just received some good news. We knew what he had, and we knew how we were going to treat it. People were asking me how he was doing, an update on him, and I updated them. It was the first good news we had received. By the time I knew what was going on with that video and the context that people were taking it in and the reactions that were happening, I genuinely felt like it was too late. It was too late for me to clarify the context of this video. There are even articles and people talking about my most recent video and people calling it an apology video. Not once did I say sorry in that video, because I'm not sorry. And the comments and direct messages that I've been receiving are far worse than the context that people took that video. So guess what, motherfucker? I'm still gonna be here sharing content because I'm damn good at it and I enjoy it, and you don't have to be here.
She takes a very aggressive and edgy approach and says that the video was taken out of context and that people don't know her story. Her story, no mention of the kid. She says that she knew what he had at that point and they knew how to treat it. Therefore, that gave her license to exploit her very sick newborn baby in his first days of life for her TikTok followers. At the point of the dancing video, when that went live, she was still waiting, and she says in the video that she was still waiting for his breathing to stabilize in the video. So I'm not sure exactly why she would be prematurely celebrating his immaculate recovery unless she was some sort of clairvoyant or something like that. And she knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was going to recover, which he's still in the NICU. You would think that somebody would be holding their breath until they're out of the NICU, but that's just me. Let's just say that that's true. She knew that he was gonna get better and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look very good that the second that the doctor gives you an okay, you exploit your kid and start doing a TikTok dance in a hospital room. So, while your kid's struggling to breathe still. So, doesn't look very good. Not a good look. Unbelievably, she's actually gained followers from this whole drama, and she continues to show her kids' faces on her page, and she clearly benefits from this type of content. So she's continued to sort of, you know, do the dances, have the kids in the videos. Life goes on, I guess. I'm disgusted by it. I really am. I'm disgusted by this whole thing. And it's like, it's the definition of anything for views. So this next one is just a shame, really, because I actually have been following this influencer for a while, actually, because she used to do a lot of great fashion and like lifestyle content and travel and things like that. I believe she's been exploiting her kid for a while now, and it just completely turned me off of it. It's basically like all about filming her kid, like nonstop, like all the time. There's been a couple questionable moments that I've seen, and to me this was like the final straw when I found this. Let me kind of break down what the final straw situation was. So semi-recently, she had kind of gone missing on social media, like on her Instagram. She's very active on Instagram, and like finally came back after some time away and said like, we'll share when we're ready. There's been, you know, something horrible has happened to our family, and we'll speak on it when we're ready, kind of thing. And obviously that has prompted a lot of people to be worried. It's generated a lot of distress for people, like what happened? People are invested in her life and they're wondering, myself included, like what happened? Like, is everything okay? And it was very ominous, like building up to like eventually she's gonna speak about it, because she's like, I'll speak when I'm ready, right? Well, eventually she goes live with an explanation video of where she's been. And it turned out that her son had a skull fracture. She basically did like a tell-all explanation video about his skull fracture, what happened, what exact hospital they took him to, private medical information, not related to her, all about her son, going public with it. And she had generated a lot of like, what happened, like with other people, right? Well, that's not the only thing that got people to click on the video. The other thing that got people to click on the video was that she used some other kid's x-ray of a very intense skull fracture that this child had suffered. And she used that in her thumbnail to get people to click on the video and make the skull fracture seem worse than it was. I'm honestly disgusted, but you might be asking, okay, how do I know that this is some other kid's skull fracture? Well, I thought it was strange because in this, you know, tell-all video, which shouldn't have been ever posted, in my opinion, or shared with other people. She claims to not have taken any photos of her son's x-ray.
And she's like, yeah, so he does have a fracture. And I'm like, oh wow. She shows us the photo. I wish I took a picture of it to show you guys, but yeah.
Which I thought was a little strange. So it kind of got me thinking like, okay, so whose x-ray is that if you didn't take pictures of it? So what I did was I just did a quick Google search and I typed in skull fracture x-ray toddler. And it was one of the first things that came up, was this stolen image from a kid. Some other kid, not her kid. I know that it's a stolen photo because of the white triangle in the corner, okay? So there's like a little white triangle on the x-ray photo that you can see, you know, you can match them up. She just flipped the orientation of it, but it's the same photo. Okay, now I wanna just talk to you about this photo because it comes from a University of Hawaii radiology case. The child was anonymous, okay? Because it's medical information, and you know, this child might not want that to be spread around. This child in the University of Hawaii radiology case fell from a 2 to 3 meter high, which is around like 9 foot high deck, onto concrete and hit his head, which resulted in a 1 centimeter gap in his skull, which has been diagnosed now as a growing skull fracture. So it's like actually even getting bigger. And 3 months later, this child required a craniotomy after his fall because it was so intense. There's a really sizable skull fracture. Based on what she said happened, of course, because obviously you don't know exactly for sure what happened with her son, but it doesn't match the severity of what happened in the x-ray that she posted on the video. Comparatively, University of Hawaii radiology case seems to be much more intense. It's gross to me. This whole situation is very gross to me. She was teasing that her explanation for why she was taking a social media break would be coming soon in the week leading up. Like I said, she was building anticipation and worry. She said her family was going through something and she would talk when she was ready to talk about it. Why is it always about you when discussing this kind of information? Don't you think that it should be about, like, he'll discuss when he's ready? Because it's, after all, his information to share. If he grows up and he wants to talk about the time that he fractured his skull, then he's within his right to do so. And that goes for everything. Feel free to discuss your own health problems and your own medical information. If you want to be open and wide open with it and talk about it freely and openly and, you know, share everything that there is to share about it, then you're within your right to do that completely and 100%. I've done that with my own, you know, my own medical stuff, but it's my own medical stuff to share. But she dropped this video, which got more views than most of her other videos, like by a lot, okay? She's detailing her son's private health issues for thousands of people to see, curious onlookers. She's shouting out the hospital she went to, which I feel like is not ever something that you should be doing in terms of safety, in my opinion. But nobody on the internet needs to know your child's medical history. They just don't. I don't know how that became a trend, because it's obviously become a trend in the last couple of years. People are misguided in that sense, in my opinion. She's sort of now labeled this as like education, for educational reasons. She's sharing this information, but in my opinion, that's an excuse, because these are just common sense principles. If your kid hit his head, take him to the hospital or call your doctor. You know, it's common sense. It really is. I don't understand like the educational aspect. It's a cop-out in order to generate hype and get views. It's anything for views parenting. That is what it is. Now, in addition to the stolen x-ray gate, this same influencer mom is now documenting her toddler's potty training journey on her Instagram. She's providing potentially embarrassing real-time updates for her close to 1 million followers. Okay, AKA 1 million strangers, basically. Now, I wanna share this with you because this is really important, and I'm gonna put this up on the screen, obviously. I have to share this because it's important, and it's important to the point that I'm making. According to the Child Rescue Coalition, hashtag potty training, hashtag toilet training, and hashtag diaper free are among some of the most predator attracting hashtags and should be avoided among many others, which I will obviously post up here. While it may be innocent to post these moments, many predators are searching for this type of content for nefarious reasons. There's a whole group of these parents who, this particular parent included, where they think that it's their job to like educate the parents of the world, and they do everything around like education and I'm teaching you how to parent, and I'm concerned. I really am. But it's interesting because in one of these potty training posts that she posted herself, she said that her son, had expressed the desire for privacy even at age 2. According to her, she said that he had asked his parents to look away when he was going to the bathroom. You have to ask yourself at that point, if he's expressing the need for privacy at age 2, he would likely like privacy from strangers as well. He has no idea that this is going online at all. Like none. You know, he has no concept really of social media or what it is and how big it is and how many people it's going out to. I mean, it's like literally getting blasted out to like 1 million people. Can you imagine if he wants privacy just even with his parents, the people he's safest with, he would imagine that he wouldn't want this information out either. You know, once again, it's like, you guys, you never know how a child will react when they grow up and if they would approve of these intimate and potentially embarrassing moments of their life posted online. Just speaking from my own personal point of view, I found a photo of myself in the bathtub in my family photo album, because I'm old enough where we had family photo albums with, you know, actual printed out photos. I found a photo of myself in the bathtub and I think I was 10 years old, and I cried for an entire day. I wouldn't speak to anybody because I was so disgusted. And it was in our family photo album, which was never gonna be, I was never gonna be public ever. Ever. Never. And I still was upset. I still felt like grossed out, like that photo even existed of me. And it felt like a violation of my privacy. There's many things that might not seem embarrassing to adults, but are very sensitive to children. And that's an example of that. Even as a high schooler, I was hypersensitive to just weird things. I was embarrassed of everything, literally. I was embarrassed to open a pop can at lunch, because I would only eat things that were small, like little, because I was embarrassed to eat in front of other people. Like, I understand that it doesn't make any sense, but when you're growing up and you're trying to find out who you are, you just have to be aware that like kids are going through stuff. They're going through emotions. You just don't know how it's gonna land. Even if they grow up and they're completely fine with it, whatever it is, you just do not know. Have to err on the side of just privacy, always. Like, have that be your North Star, is your child's privacy. When in doubt, do not share it. Finally, this is something that just really, it grinded my gears. She was answering a question on her IG story where someone asked if she felt like this whole potty training saga that she was posting was at all exploitative of her son. And she responded that she was gaining nothing from sharing this information, and that she can share whatever she wants about her own child. It was like kind of it was a biting remark in my opinion. Once again, she was claiming that her content's for educational purposes. All she was doing the entire time was following a book, okay? Like a potty training book, that she was just following the guide of that. Here's the thing, guys, all right? This is what pisses me off. Just follow the book, okay? Follow the book. If you wanna be educational, say, hey, this book worked for me. Do not post step by step showing the toilet, showing this, that, and the other thing. Oh, my child's going to the bathroom here, my child's going to the bathroom there. You don't need to post that stuff. That's not appropriate. Just say the book and move on. Do the potty training behind closed doors. It's disgusting, and it puts your kid at risk. People are not dumb. You do stand to gain something from this documentation. You gain engagement, which you can then turn around and show to your potential sponsors. Hey, I get a lot of engagement on my Instagram stories. Hey, I get content for the day. I pretend like I'm super active on Instagram. I mean, guys, here's what you need to ask yourself in every situation. What does this person stand to gain from posting this? Most times you're gonna find if there's financial incentive involved, it's financial. That's my tip for life. It's most of the time, it's financial. Most of the time, people act in their own self-interest. I just want to end it with this, guys. Once again, another statistic. The Child Rescue Coalition says that 90% of children have a social media presence before their 2nd birthday, but 89% of parents haven't checked their privacy settings within the last year. Guys, as of filming this video, I took a break because my camera died, and related to the potty training, this video just went live. It's like a collaboration with someone who's, you know, a potty training consultant. I I can't even make this stuff up, you guys. I actually can't make this stuff up. I'm sick to my stomach looking at something like this and thinking about how this information is out there. She posted like a collaboration reel video on Instagram where they did like a skit. She's got her son to knock on the door and as part of this like stupid skit that they put together. In the caption of this reel, this consultant said that she's had the pleasure of working with by name, said that the main hurdle that they're going over is working on poop. Here's several suggestions that she has offered to her parents to help with his poop struggles. What's wrong with people here? What is wrong with people? Offer high fiber diet, put a floor potty in the space where he usually hides to poop. Information that's just, it shouldn't be out there. And like this skit went live today and she's forcing her son to do this TikTok trend where she's talking about his going to the bathroom. I mean, what is happening? These people have lost their way in life. This is not right. And someone needs to advocate for these children if no one else is gonna do it. I just can't sit around and watch it happen anymore. I can't. And honestly, it makes me sick to my stomach. I feel sick. And that just happened as of me recording this, like in the middle of me recording this, like as of maybe 20 minutes ago. You lose the right to call something educational and saying you gain nothing from it and you're doing it out of the goodness of your own heart, or you want to educate other parents, and this is completely altruistic in every sense of the word. It's not. You lose that ability to say those things when you show your kid's face, you say what his name is, you talk about where you guys live. That's all people need. They need to know your name, your age, and where you live. It's absolutely disgusting, this stuff. It actually disgusts me to see stuff like this, and it pisses me off. So another case of medical exploitation for views comes from a TikTok family account which posts mainly about their 4 children, and one of their children, I'm gonna say, is medically complex, and the mother has been posting for some time that she's going to be doing a reveal video on TikTok of what his diagnosis is. She posted a vague like trailer video, for lack of a better word. It was like a trailer, like this is what's to come, okay?
Oh, to see if I still bleed, and nothing hurts anymore, I feel kinda free.
It was very ominous once again, like very vague, like his diagnosis will not define him. It was very dramatic. They finally have answers after all this time. She shows him running throughout the hospital, showing the exact name of the hospital and the exact unit that he's in, which once again, you know that I have a problem with this. Showing the hospitals that your kids are going to. Why would you do something like that? I mean, not only are you putting him at risk, but you're putting like all the other children at risk that are there. It makes me sick to my stomach. I even found some comments of people like trying to verify that it was the hospital that they were thinking of. They're like, oh, is this blah, blah, blah hospital in blah, 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 insert state name? Like, is this really where I think it is? Cause yeah, I think this is the hospital I've seen before, blah, blah. I live right by there. Like, she left a comment pinned actually to the top of this TikTok video, which she's now taken the comments off. She's been getting a lot. I just want to preface this by saying I'm not the only one who thinks that this is not appropriate to be posting this. She's been getting a lot of negative comments, and there's people that have been speculating about this child for a very long time, which I just don't feel like is appropriate. Like, your children should never be speculated about online because people should not know anything about your kids. They shouldn't even know what they look like. They also should not be featured in videos and having to work and making money for you, but whatever. So she's deleted these, but she had a comment which I grabbed before it was gone. And she pinned it to the top, and she was basically explaining that she had like rudely responded to a comment of someone asking what the exact diagnosis was. By the way, like obviously people are gonna ask because you're putting it out there, like, but she got like super pissed about people asking. She also like expands on that comment and says she's gonna be sharing the diagnosis when they're ready. Okay, she tells everyone that they need to be more patient and they should come back later if they want to know more. Like, come back later for more information. That's why I call this a trailer video. It's an exploitation trailer video of, hey, I'm about to be revealing my son's private medical information. Check back later. We're gonna finally share the diagnosis. Like, it's a reveal video. It's like, what? I've never seen something like this before. Once again, why is it always about the parent? When the parent's ready to share, then they will be sharing. Guys, it's not about you. It's not about when you, the parent, wants to share that information. It should be about when he or the child who has the medical problem wants to share, if he or she wants to share in the future, which they might not, and they might, I don't know. But it's their decision, it's up to them, not you. I truly don't believe that, oh, I'm the parent, so I get to post whatever I want about my kid. That is not thinking in the best interest of your kid. It's not. It never has been, it never will be. Stop saying that. Please stop saying that if you're a parent, please, enough. This is the only instance where I feel like it's appropriate. If you wanna tell your, your neighbor, you wanna tell his teacher, hey, here's a diagnosis, tell the people that are close to your son and in your son's life, say, hey, this is a diagnosis, that's appropriate. Because those interactions will make an impact on his life, and those are the ones that matter. But when you share it online, what does it do? It does virtually nothing. It's not a net positive to share on the basis of like awareness or something, like with the excuse of, oh, this is for awareness. It's not a net positive because you're compromising your child's privacy in doing this. This is something that I see a lot of parents use in order to exploit their kids, and in order to share private information. They say, this is for awareness, this is for awareness, this is for awareness. If you're using the excuse of awareness, you're sharing for awareness, remind yourself, awareness does not equal more empathy, it does not equal more sympathy, it does not equal more compassion, and it should not actually equal more empathy, more compassion, more sympathy. Because here's why. You shouldn't treat people any differently because they have a disability, because they have an ailment, because they have a disease, because they have this, that, or the other thing. You shouldn't treat anybody differently. Treat everyone the same. Teach your kids, teach your friends, your family, treat everyone with kindness. Treat everybody with kindness. Treat everyone like they're going through something. Treat everybody that way. Most people with disabilities or ailments or diseases, they just want to be treated equally. They want to be treated the same as everybody else. They don't want to be treated differently. They know that. They feel that. In my opinion, awareness is a very lame, unjustified excuse for sharing your child's medical information. It just is. It just is. It's not good enough. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. It doesn't fly with me. It doesn't make any sense. It is a bona fide cop-out. A couple days later, after that initial teaser trailer video got, I think the last time I checked, it was 7 or 8 million views on the initial diagnosis will not define him video. And after generating lots of worry and interest from viewers, she posted a video with the sound ambient style emotional piano. You know how at the bottom of the TikToks it's the sound and it's what the name of the sound is?
July 11th, 2022. That was the day that I had received a call that Franklin's genetic results had come in. Has been diagnosed with Wiedemann-Steiner syndrome. Wiedemann-Steiner syndrome is a rare genetic disorder resulting from mutations in the MLL gene on the long arm of chromosome 11. So where do we go from here? Lots and lots of testing. He'll have an EKG and an echo done, a spine x-ray, an MRI of his brain, an x-ray of his elbows, another x-ray for a bone age study, and lots of blood work to test for other things. From now on, he'll start having yearly eye exams, start going to a pediatric dentist every 6 months, and he'll also have a sleep study done in the fall. Here are some things that we know that Franklin has that are caused by WSS. Developmental delays, thick eyebrows for his age, lateral flare to the eyebrows, long eyelashes, widely spaced eyes, narrow and down-slanted palpable fissures, low muscle tone, first months of life, short stature, early teething, sacral dimple, posteriorly rotated ears, and behavioral issues. Different doesn't mean bad, and it doesn't mean broken. He is still and his diagnosis doesn't define him.
Ambient style emotional piano, and it was playing over in the background of her voiceover, in which she revealed in this voiceover the exact diagnosis her son had, after a lot of people were kind of hoping that maybe she just wouldn't share it and keep it private. Nope, she shared it in a big reveal video. And then she goes on to describe exactly what testing he's gonna be needing to have done, explaining what disabilities he has as a result of this, what ailments, what delays he might have as a result of this. I mean, it's really just not for anybody to know. It really isn't. And it makes me really sad. That's all I can say. Let me just end it with this, because I know that this has been a lot of discussion about children's medical illnesses for internet clout, exploiting those medical illnesses for internet clout. Like, I understand that it's been a lot of that talk, but I just want to kind of end this particular subtopic with this, okay? No one on the internet is entitled to your child's medical information. No one's actually even entitled to know your medical information for that matter. But we just don't know that children under the age of consent would even approve or want this information to be public. The next anything for views parents. This was really shocking, really shocking, really shocking. And I can't even believe something like this would be posted. So there's a YouTube family. I know that that's very popular. It's very lucrative to have YouTube families and you post all the time with your kids and you got a great big family. I'm wondering if it all stemmed from like the success of like the Duggars or Duggars, that Duggar family with 18 kids and counting. Like there's a lot of these families popping up with 12, 16, 24, like so many kids, okay? And they're doing like family channels and things like that. So there's a YouTube family with 16 children. So some of them are adopted, some of them are their biological children. They have posted 3, not 1, 3 separate videos where they give their young daughters the talk, okay? And by the talk, I mean the sex talk. And they document every aspect of it online. And they posted it. And it's gotten, one of them has over 1.1 million views. So that is just disgusting. In the videos, they film every aspect of the process. So it begins with like, in every video, they begin by writing a letter to the daughter saying like, dress up, you're gonna be going on a date with your parents later in the week, so you're gonna need to dress up, get ready for it. We're gonna go take you out to dinner, big fancy dinner. They always film like this similar scene where each daughter walks down the stairs like prom style, and the parents are waiting at the bottom of the stairs filming them, and they film the process of them getting ready. In every video, they film themselves driving to the restaurant, and then they film themselves giving the talk at the restaurant, public restaurant. And then they always end the video by giving their daughter like a promise ring of sorts to like round out the video. So they all follow like a specific formula and format. Obviously they do that because it was very successful on the ones that they posted. It's sad too because I noticed that in one of the videos when they're like filming, you know, I watched all 3, but I noticed that in 2 of the videos they were filming talking about like, are you so excited to go and do this, blah, blah, blah. And 2 of the daughters made a mention, it's a rare occurrence to go out alone with their parents for a special occasion like that.
So how often do you get to go alone with mom and dad on a mommy-daughter date?
It's like so exciting because we never do it, like never. Like,
not very often,
yeah,
like once a year, right? Like once a year.
Like once a year.
Yeah, it's true. So how is it being on a date with mom and dad? Is it awkward?
Yeah, kind of, but it's fun because like this usually doesn't happen.
That's true. So true. All right, we're almost there.
One of them even said like this is like a once a year situation where they get to go by themselves with their parents and do something just themselves, just alone with their parents. It breaks my heart to hear a child say that they only get to spend, you know, one-on-one time with their parents once a year, but it actually breaks my heart even into a million more pieces to know that the one time they get to spend with their parents, it's being filmed and it's an embarrassing, sensitive topic, and they're filming that and documenting it for YouTube. Whether that's true or not, whether they do hang out with their kid or get one-on-one time more frequently than that or not, it's just to hear a child say that, it's just sad. So obviously in these videos, as anybody would, I would be embarrassed even now as a 27-year-old. Each kid is visibly uncomfortable, visibly embarrassed throughout the entire video, like entire process of this video, they're visibly embarrassed.
This is the talk about where babies come from. Where do you think they come from?
Their stomach.
From their stomach?
Yeah, but
Okay, but wait, how do you think they got there?
I mean, a lot of people say they're just hitting it like a thing in their stomach.
Okay. So you're saying like tadpole things?
No, like really no. So like when we're all saying this,
Wait, okay. So let me just tell you. Can I just
tell me. Just tell me.
Just tell me. Wait, get a drink. So do you know where babies come from? Yes. Where do they come from?
I'm not saying.
Well, yeah, you can say that. It's not bad. Where do they come from? Does a stork play them? Where do they come from?
Your stomach.
My stomach, exactly. And how does my stomach get a baby in it? Do I just say, oh, I want a baby real bad, and boom, there's a baby in my tummy?
No, not even close.
Do I have to eat crab legs? No. How does the baby get in my stomach? Do I have to swallow a special seed?
No.
So tell me what happens. How's the baby?
I don't know. I really no. Well, I kind of do, but like not like a lot. So I need you to tell me.
The parents are filming them in a crowded restaurant eating and asking them while they're eating, like if they know where babies come from, and filming the responses of the child saying like, oh no, I don't, or I haven't heard about it, or I don't know, blah, blah, blah. They mute out the actual conversation of like getting in, explaining like the nitty gritty. They still film like the reactions, like they just don't put any sound over it. They put music over the talking part, but they still show like every reaction and like the uncomfortable, like the squeamish sort of like, you know, any reaction that a 8-year-old or a 13-year-old would have, because these kids are 8 and 13. You know, this discussion, the talk between parents and children, is inherently sensitive in nature. While the idea and information I believe is correct, like I agree, and I feel like it is a good thing that they're doing, bringing their kid out, explaining things, maybe not doing it in a public restaurant for starters. That information might be correct. Like doing that, bringing it out, explaining it to them before somebody at school explains it to them, that all makes sense to me, yes. But it's abhorrent, in my opinion, to publicize this extremely sensitive conversation with your child in this way and make a video of it and then make money off it. It's embarrassing. It's sensitive. It's awkward. It's gross. It's just, I've never seen anything like this in my life, and they did it 3 times. Not once, but 3 times. One of them is with their 13-year-old adopted daughter. I just want to mention this as well. It's extremely irresponsible to associate like these kind of conversations that are sexual in nature, obviously like the most sexual in nature, with young kids online for potential predators to see. Because there's a statistic that children between 12 and 15 are especially susceptible to be preyed on, accounting for over 50% of online predator cases. To put these kids in this position where they're publicly talking about this, they're associated with this talk, they're associated with this topic, people are getting their reaction, it's just gross. It's so irresponsible, it's so tactless, it's anything for views. I mean, it is truly, I've never in my life seen anything like this. It is anything for views. No shame at all. I just want to bring this up. Some other countries are doing things right, and I think that the United States needs to move in that direction. I think that every country needs to move in this direction. So I just wanted to discuss France, because France, they are known for having some of the strictest child internet safety laws out there. And I've heard before things like you can't even post photos of your children online. Otherwise, your child can actually sue you for posting photos of them online when they become of age. But I just want to read this to you because this is actually, as of 2020, this law was promulgated. On the commercial use of images of children under 16 years old online on online platforms, this law, which was adopted by the Senate in June 25th, 2020, and adopted unanimously by the National Assembly on October 6, 2020, aims to provide a legal framework for the activities of influencer children on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and other online platforms. So guys, this is what I'm saying. These are influencer children. The law needs to catch up and help these kids. Like, somebody needs to advocate for these children. This new legal framework fills an important void, as I was just saying, as the work of child influencers was largely unregulated and their work could easily be exploited by their parents. Under this new legislation, which will come into force April 20th, 2021, child influencers will be protected by the French Labor Code in a manner similar to child models or child actors. Prior government authorization will now be necessary before a child can engage in online video activities that can be considered as being within a labor relation. So that can mean that a child is receiving orders or directions from the video producer, aka their parent, any video that generates income for their parent, stuff like that. Once they go to seek this authorization, the parents will be notified of their children's rights and the potential consequences they may face if they release images of their children on the internet. The new rules will also apply to what National Assembly's committee report on the bill called a gray zone, where the child is not in a labor relation but nevertheless spends a significant amount of time making videos or derives a significant level of income from them. Beyond certain thresholds regarding the number of videos produced, the cumulative length of these videos, or the level of income generated by these videos, the child's parents will need to submit a declaration to the government authorities. On Upon submitting this declaration, the parents will also receive information on the rights of their child and the potential consequences of the release of images of their child on the internet. Perhaps most importantly, child influencers will see their income protected under this new law. Specifically, only part of the child's income will be paid to the parents, while balance will have to be placed in special savings account that the child will be able to access when he or she reaches adulthood or legal emancipation. Additionally, the new law explicitly allows minors to assert their right to be forgotten. Video platforms will be required to remove the child's videos upon his or her direct request, even without the parent's consent. This is something that we need to follow in suit. France is already there. If something's gonna pass like this unanimously in France, they obviously have statistics, they have seen the negative effects of children online, they have seen the exploitation by parents, financial exploitation of these children and not giving it probably any money to these children. Like, this is so much deeper and so much worse than we even could imagine. In the United States and in other likewise countries, these laws have not caught up yet. I want to be able to look into the past and say, you know, did I do the right thing when things were uncertain? And I think this is one of those opportunities that you have as a parent and in life to advocate for what's right, do right by your child. That's basically what I have to say about those, you know, internet safety laws. Guys, I just want to end this video with a couple sentiments. It's disturbing to me that there are parents who would trade their child's privacy and their child's safety for internet clout and money. Here's the thing, if you're not interesting enough on your own, find a new job, okay? And find a job that does not require you to use your children as puppets or props in your money-making endeavors, okay? How about that? It's a shame that child safety laws have not yet caught up to the rapidly changing digital world. That is very obvious to me. How many child stars do we have to see who have been negatively affected just by being like a child actor, for example? And here's the difference, because I know that someone's probably gonna bring up like, oh, what about child actors? Is that okay? What's the difference between child actors and child influencers? Here's the difference. Child actors actually go in, they clock in, and they clock out. These kids do not get to clock out ever. These parents are filming them as they wake up in their beds, which to me I find disgusting. You're gonna film a kid in the one place in their world that should be a sanctuary, it should be a safe haven. When they're sleeping soundly in their room, you're gonna film that and put that online for people to see. Creepy people who are going to use this for nefarious reasons. Like, really? I mean, are we kidding here? Are we just not thinking straight? Do we just not know that there's people out there? Are we just oblivious? Are we just living in ignorant bliss? That's the difference though. So the difference is those kids have their money usually protected by child labor laws. So like that money, child actors, like hopefully it goes into a trust of some sort that they can have access to eventually, and there's some transparency about where the money is going that these child actors are making. These child influencers may never see a dime of any of this money that they are generating. And this is, we're talking millions of dollars that some of these kids are generating. I mean, people have created careers off of these family channels, kid accounts, what, you name it. I mean, you've seen them. I don't need to tell you. But we've seen the negative effects of child actors. We're only now starting to see the negative effects that have happened with these child influencers. And it's not good, guys. It's not good. Social media is a disease. It is not good for children to be on it. It is not good to have every waking moment, every intimate moment, every sensitive topic, every sensitive conversation, every medically complex situation to be broadcasted online. It's not good. Once again, the smaller the social footprint, the better. Okay, that's for adults too. I mean, it is. It just is. The less you say, the better. The less information people know about you, the better. I wish that parents took this more seriously. I want to just lay something out, because as I was doing research for this video and as I was finding statistics from child rescue coalitions and groups and advocacy groups, things like that, I found that predators work in very similar patterns, right? So they begin by lurking in online spaces that they know kids will be, whether that be TikTok, Instagram, video games, online chat forums. They go to those places, right? And then they use public information from profiles to identify their potential targets. So name, age, where do they live, what are they interested in, things like that. They then contact the victims, often by deceptive means, and then they will entice them into meeting, or they will potentially stalk them, or even worse, all right? I'm not even gonna name what the even worse is. By willingly posting information about your children online, you are speeding up the process and making the work of an online predator extremely easy. You're literally fast tracking them to like step 3. You've already given them their information, you've already told them where they're gonna be, you already told them what school they're at, you already told them what hospital they're at, you already told them what medical information, you already told them their hobbies, you already told them their name, you already told them the state that they live in, everything. These people know everything. Stop giving this information out. They have all the information they need. All they need to do at that point is just act on it. Here's a very harrowing statistic. According to the Child Rescue Coalition, it's estimated that 85% of child predators go on to abuse children in real life. 85%. And I just want to end this by saying this. Once again, do I believe these are bad parents? No, probably not. All right, they're probably great parents. They probably have the best intentions for their kids, although obviously misguided. So once again, I do not encourage anyone to reach out to these people. I do not encourage anybody to go harass these people. That is not something that I would ever want somebody to do. I'm using these as examples of what not to do. Hopefully these are one-off scenarios and they won't happen again. That is all I have to say about that, okay? If you like this kind of video, please consider subscribing. It's free, okay? It's free. And I do post a lot of videos similar to this. I do a lot of anti-MLM videos as well, which are a big hit. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Please like the video. If you did like, leave a comment on your thoughts. This is definitely a topic that needs to be discussed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.